Feeding the 25 Initiative came from a podcast that I listened to, and I adopted this concept from John Bellion. Like, he did this podcast, and it was initially about like feeding people as opposed to like entertaining people, nurturing their hearts as opposed to like entertaining their brains for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So one of the things that I noticed amongst my peers is that we'll write a song and it goes everywhere, and then the next song doesn't do so much, and then they start to question where they messed up the recipe or where they messed up the remedy. It's like, what did I not do that I did last time? Where did I mess up? Where did I drop the ball? Did I not pray enough? Did I not fast enough? Did I not put enough intentionality into it? And I'm just like, no, it's not that. It's just that you're trying to reach 250,000 people instead of trying to like nurture your 25 people. Like, Jesus had 12 disciples that he spent intentional time with and that he nurtured on a daily. There's probably 12 to 25 people in your everyday life that you could be impacting, but you're so busy trying to impact the masses that you're missing the 25 people around you. I'm like, if I could change just 25 people that are around me, or 25 people across the board of my career or whatever, those 25 people will go on to impact their 25, and so on and so forth. Before you know it, the masses are reached without even trying to like bite off a huge chunk of the industry in one like full swoop. I think, like, not to say like less is like more realistic, but I do think less is more sometimes, because it's more curated, it's more potent when it's like a lesser amount of people. You know what I mean? You can be more intentional. Intimate settings can be way more intentional. That's why I think there's a lot of things that can fall through the cracks or can be lost in translation with bigger things. I think like keeping it very small and acute and keeping it very dialed in can actually like have more of an impact, because those 25 people will come back 25 years later and be like, this is the album that changed everything for me. And now look, I've gone on to change this. Like, I'm not trying to change the world, but I am trying to impact the heart that does change the world. My goals for my future as far as career, I think I just want to like inspire, impact, and create a space for creators to be safe, to like dream for the big things, to chase and pursue the things that they believe in, fight hard for the things they believe in, even if no one else understands. Like, I think I have a really big heart for like dreamers and creatives and like believers, like people that they have things burning in their heart, but they don't really know exactly what it's going to be. It's not fully fleshed out. Their people around them don't understand either. And it's like, no, take the safe route. Like, go to school, get a degree, all the things. I'm like, degrees are important in certain contexts, but like, we're in the creative age where people are getting degrees and they can't use them. So I think if God is tenderizing your heart towards something, or if you feel this pulse pulling you in a different direction, be okay to explore that, because if you go after the route that you hate and you get to the end of your life, you're going to regret that you never took the chance. So I just want to inspire people to take the chance on the things that they believe in, even if it doesn't make sense to the people around them, or even if it fully doesn't make sense to them yet. And I think my goal as, like, personally, I just want to be a good son to my parents. I want to be a good husband to my future spouse, and I want to be a good father to my future children. Like, that's really all I want to do. Like, I don't want to be so engulfed in my career that I fail in my relationships. I've seen it happen time and time again. So I'm just like, God, whatever it takes for me to be present in the relationships that matter, that's my goal. Because people don't think about legacy a lot of times. They think about, I want to enjoy the life that I live right now. I want to enjoy my lifetime. I'm choosing my person because they make me feel special. They're not thinking about how the person, as it pertains to how that person's going to help them raise their children or their grandchildren. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think like there's generations coming after me that I want to set them up for success. Like, I'm trying not to be long-winded, but if you think about David, you have to go backwards, because it started with Ruth and Boaz, that goes to Obed, and then to Jesse, and then to David. Like, Boaz is leaving portions extra for Ruth, and then later on down the line, David is anointed king, but he's called out of the exact same field that Boaz was leaving extra portions in. He's in a field that has history with the Lord, but it's legacy. You see what I'm saying? Boaz and Ruth, their story was just to show you that if you raise a family in the ways of God 4 generations later, your great-grandson might go on to become royalty and be a king, not only cutting off the head of Goliath, but restoring the Ark of the Covenant back into the you know what I'm saying, back to Jerusalem. Like, he then becomes a man of God's own heart, and then through his lineage, later, Jesus steps onto the scene through the lineage of David. But it started with Ruth and Boaz. Like, that's how big legacy is. That's how important choosing your person is. So I think I just want to be a good husband and a good father and raise my kids in the ways of the Lord. So that way, 10 years, 20 years, 100 years later, God can look through the bloodline and be like, because of these two making the decision, this was able to happen 70, 80, 100 years later. My vision is very like set in stone in my heart because I want to be intentional about like the success of other artists as far as them being authentic. I realize like the route that I'm taking is one, the long path, but two, it's probably the path that's not going to get you the pat on the back. This is not the path that like is probably going to get you the most accolades and awards and like spotlight and all the things. And I'm okay with that. Like I don't really care about that stuff. I care about like the things that matter when the cameras are shut off. I think I care about the things that happen after the award show is closed out and all the confetti is dropped already when people are going home. I remember I'm trying to be careful. I remember the first time that I ever got a chance, well, the only time I ever got a chance to go to Grammys. And I'm sitting in the hotel room with my brother and I'm talking and we decided to pray over the moment. And I remember being very grateful because I'm like, God, thank you for like allowing me to see this. But I'm also very grieved because there are people that are going to win these awards tonight and they're going to go home and they're going to weep because they don't trust anyone around them. They're going to win awards tonight and they're going to stay out as late as they can because they're trying to avoid going home because home isn't safe for them. I'm like, God, give them a place to be safe. Because they're going to go here and they're going to smile, they're going to do the things, they're going to take the pictures, they're going to go on the radio tours and all the things. But like, they're doing that because they're avoiding going home. They're doing that because they're avoiding being around certain people. They don't even trust the circle that they're around. I'm like, I care about what happens when the cameras are off, the awards have been won, the songs have been sung. When it's just you in your room by yourself, like, what do you listen to? I want to give you something to listen to that no one else even knows that you're listening to, but it revives you, it recharges you, it refreshes your soul and your spirit. This isn't the path that's going to get me like looks. This isn't the path that's going to get me a pat on the back. It's not the path that's going to get me seen by everyone, but it's the path that's going to change. Oh, Jesus. Sorry, this is the path that I think is less traveled. It's not a lot of footprints on this path, and I'm okay with that because I think this is the path that's going to matter 100 years from now, 200 years from now. It's the path that's going to save someone's life because they just won an award and they're ready to jump off of a bridge with it because it didn't fill their soul. They're empty and they're numb. And I don't want anyone to lose their life, even after winning an award, because they feel empty. I want them to have safety and refuge and a space that they can let their hair down. They don't have to be on because there's no cameras around. But their soul is prospering. Because there's a lot of people, their souls aren't prospering. And they're winning accolades and awards. Sorry. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Joel Barnes, and you're checking out 24/7 HH. My new album, The Good Shepherd, is out. It's available now on all streaming platforms. Go check it out.